Stop everything right now. Stop what you're doing. Pause. All right, it's K Fox, a.k.a. the voice of the city. It's the K Fox show. Now, according to my reports, last night, there was a shooting at the residence of NBA superstar Jalen King. Isn't that your boy?
That's my man, yo.
Now, sources are telling me that 2 men were shot and 1 was fatal.
As high profile as the Kings are, you'd think they'd have security all around this place.
I'm thinking it's possible somebody turned these cameras off before setting the scene here.
The question is who?
That's what we gotta figure out.
I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
Use code TFU10 for a discount on the full body cleanse.
Y'all, welcome back to another episode of TFU.
Let's go!
Oh, you had your own sound effect coming in. All right,
Yeah.
he's already ready.
There you go.
In the group. As you
love
can
it.
see, not much of an introduction needed except co-founder, vice president, entrepreneur, businessman, hip hop legend.
Woo!
Chris Gotti in the
That's
house.
big words, baby. Yeah. I like it.
Chris
Talking
Gotti out here in the house. Thank you for stopping by.
Man, I'm so happy to be here, man. You know, shout out to Mizza for making this happen.
Shout out to Demizza always.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, how'd you get into music? Let's start there. Let's start when you were young. You know what I mean?
We go back. That's it. Starting music was. I got, again, everyone, my brother, he's not here, but he's with me right now. Everyone knows he's going,
Right.
But Irv was my little brother. I raised him. So if I played basketball, Irv played basketball. If I played football, Irv played football. If I did music, Irv did music. I was the DJ first. And Irv started DJing. And one day I just seen how good he was. And that's the day I quit DJing. And I said, you know what? Let me just help you.
Right.
And I started taking around battling. It's a different era. I'm 58, so Irv was 50. He's 3 years younger. He was, he passed at 54. I just turned 58. But at the end of the day, it was a different era back then, And we just battled everywhere. And Irv was killing everybody, man. He was he was that type of DJ. But then he started making mixtapes, blend tapes. And if you ever think, let's say Ashanti,
Right.
that's DJ Irv. That was his name, just DJ Irv. Back then, all he did was take acapellas and blend it with hip hop tracks. Mm-hmm. So R&B acapellas with hip hop tracks. Irv was famous for that. The line would be around the block for dudes to come and get it. No exaggeration. Every drug dealer in Queens, every drug dealer in Brooklyn, they was coming to the house to get the tapes because that's what it was about, like having that unique tape. And Irv would make each one of them a special tape, and then he would mass produce the rest, and I was selling those off like crazy.
So this was back when DJs were battling DJs.
Oh yeah, this is when the DJs was battling.
What was that TV show that came out I watched? But it was about New York, growing up in that era. But I know, when you say battling, that's the type of battling you're talking about. He was a real
tricks,
DJ.
All those tricks. Irv would put the handcuffs on, and that was lights out. He behind his back with handcuffs, spinning around, doing everything, cutting
handcuffs,
everything. Yeah, he was different. He was different with DJing for sure. Shout out. There was a Grandmaster Vic. Clark Kent. We dealt with him.
Definitely heard of that.
He's from Brooklyn, but Grandmaster Vic from Queens was our nemesis. He was really good, and Irv and him And we're from Hollis, Queens, so we didn't really fuck with niggas on the south side of Queens. That's just territorial.
Right.
No gangs. We're from Hollis. That was our gang.
What was like the biggest battle he was in?
Again, this was at Union Square. Oh man, there's bodies afterwards. So like and that's what else would happen. It would be violence, typically when certain people didn't win. But Union Square was a notorious place in New York City and Manhattan, and Brooklyn. It was a Brooklyn house. I'll keep it 100. I'm a Queens dude, like through and through. I'm from Hollis. Like it was a Brooklyn house, if you understand. So when Irv finished off a couple of those DJs, that's when him and Clark Kent got cool, because what happened that day was violence, and Clark took our side to help us with the Brooklyn problem, let's call it. And we got through that.
Do you remember who he was battling?
I do not remember the names of the DJs. Yeah. I do not. I know we won the prize, though. I still got the flyer at the house somewhere. My mother has it, the actual flyer. Like it was a $10 entry, and it was for like $500. Union Square, the whole thing. I got it. And then we formed a rap group, and it was called Def Crew. DEF Crew, and it was Romeo, Rozelle. I don't know if you know Rozelle. He's famous. He's the godfather of noise, the beatbox. Best beatboxer out, period, is Rozelle, godfather of noise. Still to this day, he's unbelievable. Tours over in Germany and all of this shit. It's crazy. You would never think hip-hop would take it this far.
Where was Russell Simmons and his group at that time?
So I'm from Hollis. Russell literally lived, him, Run, DMC, Jam Master Jay lived blocks away from us.
Okay.
Jam Master Jay used to come to the house and take Irv's music. He would steal those tapes, and then next thing you know, you might hear a song that sounded a little familiar, and Irv would get fucking pissed, and I'd be like, man, what are you worried about, bro? The biggest group in the world, if they taking anything that is yours, like you're doing, you could do it.
Right.
So like I was just champion Irv every step of the way.
You've seen every transition to hip hop, from the crates to the someone starting rapping over the beats that
what is those
making.
Called? When you say transition, that is what do we call it? Not a pendulum. Oh my God, it's like the paradigm shift. Yeah. Every paradigm shift in music I've been part of. You know, from the 8 tracks. Think of, we used to have the 8-track tape. Yeah. I'm from that era. Like that's my young days. To that's cassettes, crazy. To vinyl. 45s, vinyl, like albums, then CDs. That was the pinnacle of hip hop or music.
78s.
Yeah. Would you agree?
Remember the 78s?
Of course. But would you agree that when we turn to CDs, that's the pinnacle of music? And the reason being is if you had every collection of record, vinyl, which we did, you had to rebuy it. With a CD, and then what else you did was you bought it for every vehicle, house, wherever you was, so you didn't have to remember, I got to bring that CD with me. It was already there, so you got multiple sales from one person,
or someone and that's stole why it was, lost it.
Oh, forget it. They was stealing.
You got to get it back again.
But that to me is the pinnacle of hip hop, or really of music, because of that business side of it, right? You had to buy so many things. Now it's stream.
Do you think there's a way to come back to that era, or is it gone forever?
God is the only thing.
What's his name just dropped the actual CD again? You scan the front of it, but it comes with the full CD. I think Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah. You know, the reality is, do you have anywhere to play a CD?
Me?
So I'm a person that I get approached. I get approached by independent artists all the time, and they'll hand me a CD, and I'll take my phone, and I'll put the CD, like, where am I putting this shit? How do you want me to fucking listen to this shit? Like, you understand? Like, yeah, I'm like, because, again, Latin artists, and when you go overseas, they still are more traditional with CDs and things like that. But how could I listen to it? You have to if you want me to listen to it, give me something I will be able to hear it. Send me a fucking flash drive. Put it on a link or something.
What if they send you the whole Walkman?
I will take it and say thank you.
God, I ain't seen a walk.
Just push play.
Yeah,
You know
just
what I mean?
push play. But that's real, and that's an advice to like all these independent artists. You have to understand if you're looking for assistance from an executive or someone to listen to your music, make it as easy as possible. Don't make it hard for me. I don't know you, bro. I don't know what you might have or not. And I always said I probably am I listen to the most independent artists out of any executive at my level. For sure.
I'm sure you know.
For sure.
I always ask, do you know when you hear a hit?
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes. I heard some last night.
Ooh.
It's crazy. Heard some last night.
Do you hear the hit when it's like, can you hear a beat?
It goes
Can you
both
hear
ways.
the lyrics? Do you hear like
music
when it all comes together?
Absolutely.
And like what's the point?
And then I'm gonna tell you why. I don't want to act like I'm cocky, but because of the amount of music I listen to and was able to hear the songs that actually dealt with guys like DeMizza that knows how to break the record and make it number one, right? Because that's all part of a hit record. You might have a hit record, but you couldn't get it to the masses.
Right.
So it's one of those things. And then you might have a hit record that isn't today. And I've been part of that, where it took maybe a year or 2 years of you working that record to get it to become number one in the country. The world wasn't ready when you made it.
Right.
And you have to understand it. And that's because the powers that be. It might be, I'll use Drake or Kendrick. We're in LA. Let's use Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? He's got a record out. He's swallowing up market share. How the fuck are you penetrating? And he's got every access to every platform and they're playing his shit. It's very challenging. And you have to understand that dynamic. I don't think an artist really would understand it, but their manager or handler or consultant, someone in their camp has to understand those type of nuances inside of music to actually navigate through the business.
We're gone.
What was the biggest record like that you remember? Like you was like, oh shit, this thing's like,
for us,
that's huge. It's huge.
That
but
we
then
made
it took like 2 years or whatever to finally hit. Whatever, yeah.
We made Put It On Me. Big record. And no one heard it.
Oh wow.
We was told by Universal to go make that album all over. Think of 336 and all the records that are the hit records. Timeless hit records.
Right.
Not just hits, timeless hit records. John's still touring 20 plus years later with no album out and he's still a 6 feet. Like, it's crazy what he's doing. I have no understanding of it except for watching it and trying to learn from it. But think about that. No hit, no albums out, nothing. And this man is still touring through all the bullshit he went through. Don't get it fucked up. It wasn't like he had a nice smooth ride.
Right.
This motherfucker went through hell and back and he's still there with these hits. See, that's the power of music. You can't do it. But that record was over a year before we got it to go.
So I know at first, and back in the day, they used to work a record for a year minimum. But now it seems like it moves so fast.
Well, the game changed, right?
Right.
We consume stuff so fast. But back then, I would say, in my opinion, Jimmy Iovine is probably the best at milking that cow to keep it going and get it there. Just think of Black Eyed Peas.
Right.
Think of the job he did as an executive to keep them alive. You didn't get second chances back then. They wasn't hot when they was weird,
right?
Sorta,
right.
Shout out to Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah,
I don't want to act like I don't fuck with them. I fuck with them, but they wasn't the normal traditional. And he worked the shit out of that shit because if he didn't, they would have never kept up. They would have never succeeded like that. They would have been to the wayside next. And he kept them alive. And that's the power of an executive and the power of knowing the business and how to actually keep. I could almost say Usher. If you think of Usher's first album, he didn't do well. Okay? They kept him alive. They understood what they had with the enormous talent this man is. And we have to figure it out better. And that, to me, is just timing, right? It's not like Usher changed. He was always that talent from a young kid.
Right.
He had that talent and skill set, and they nurtured it. They figured it out, even through the downside, where he didn't come out and sell like they thought and everything. And it was a big anticipation inside the industry for Usher. That's why I bring him up. And it's amazing they figured it out.
Now they gave him some strawberries and it's over.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Check whatever he's got going on out there. It's true out there. Wow.
Shout out Usher, man.
So how did Murder Inc. come about, and who created the name?
Murder Inc. Everyone always thinks Irv created Murder Inc. in the sense of he went out and said, I'm going to start a record label. And Irv, the real story is he just wanted to be the biggest producer in the game. See, this is when you understand hard work pays off, right? So when he said that, I was like, okay, I'm managing the production company, which is called Top Dog Productions, not the TP.
Okay.
Not the top. We was the original, buddy. We was the original Top Dog. But it's all good. At the end of the day, Irv said to me, I was doing construction at the time, and I was funding Irv. We did all city jobs. It was big construction, not houses. Like I was building roads and highways and schools and shit like that. Yeah. So he calls me up and says, I need help. And I'm like, what you need? He said, I need you to come back with me to help me. Like, cause I had left cause we wasn't making money like that. And I get money. So I didn't want to get, like, I was like, I got to go do something else. So when I come back to him, he shows me he has this one producer, Little Rob. Little Rob's is one producer who wants to chase tornadoes, but Little Rob made dope beats. True story. That's what he said. If he wasn't making beats, he would have been chasing tornadoes and shit like that. So I was like, wow, that's different. But he could play like the bass lines and shit like that. So Irv would tell him what to play, and then he would tighten up Irv's drum patterns. Like Irv would give him the drum, and he would tighten it up and make it sound dope. So he would make, like I said, his ratio of selling beats was amazing. If he made 4, I'd sell 3, guaranteed they're gone. But he didn't make 4. He'd make it and it'd take forever to give me 4 more. So I'm telling Irv, I can't make no money like this. I got to do something. Like, I'm going to go get more producers. And Irv said, at the time, he was selling beats for $5,000 a beat. And he said, I don't give a fuck what you do. Just, I'm not taking less than 5,000. I start laughing. I said, I know, nigga. I got you. So I started signing producers. And these niggas was nice. And that's really, and then with Irv's, you know, because it's a combination of both. They're beat makers, let's say, for most part. There's a difference between a producer and a beat maker. Irv was the one finalizing records, if that made any sense.
What was you guys' first big hit?
Man, that's hard to remember now. I don't know. We got a big hit. What do you consider a big hit? For me, Jay-Z's Can I Live is one of for my favorites. Just the vibe and feeling of Can I Live and the words that he's saying and the way it was made. I'll never forget, Irv played that beat and Jay-Z he's like, I got it. He's like, fuck out of here. What you mean you got it, nigga? And he's like, no, I got the record. So I said, what? Do it. We didn't know he just did that.
Right. So that's a real thing that's really...
Oh, that's a super real thing. And
so he don't write that word ever.
That's one take Jay, nigga. Shout out Hov, man. He go in one take and it's done. He's out. Ad-libs, everything just once and he's gone. He's got the verse. He's over. Like he's different. Big was different like that too. I know Big too. Shout out Playboy. You know what I'm saying? And just to watch him make music and they was different.
I read a story. I don't know if it's true or not. You could confirm that early on there was a group y'all tried to form with Jay-Z, DMX, and
that's Murder Inc. Irv's vision was Murder Inc. was Jay-Z, DMX, Ja Rule. If you go back to the history, and I'm going to finish answering that question for Murder Inc., but when you go back to the history of Murder Inc., it was on Blunt Records, TVT, before Murder Inc. existed. Before anything, we had Mike Geronimo and Ja Rule, Cash Money Click, and if you go look, DMX and Jay-Z is on records with Mike Geronimo. That's how long we was fucking with them before they popped off. So when we leave Blunt, we went over to Def Jam, and the reason they wanted him is because he did so well as an independent label with Mike Geronimo, and they ended up taking him over there. So we end up over at Def Jam, and Irv ended up navigating the deal. That's why we say we started with Jay, helped him navigate his deal with Def Jam and everything over there, because they didn't understand how we was getting a record played. on radio, and they couldn't get records played. And they had money, you know, Jay's hustling. They got bread. And they can't get their records spun. And they like, how you doing this with Mike Geronimo? Like, how you doing that?
Right.
So Irv gave him the blueprint. And then brought him over to Def Jam. And the rest is history. And with DMX, the reality with DMX was he was out robbing all the workers from DNY. Shout out DNY. You know what I'm saying? He was robbing their workers on the block.
That's crazy.
You know, and they wasn't fucking with him. They ended up getting a deal with the Locks. Think about this with Puff. So they're over there trying to get money with Diddy. Just think the Locks was in suits and everything. The Locks.
Wow.
See, this is what Irv's legacy is really what changed the game, was because his vision of, I can't outshine Puffy. He's gonna shine. That nigga's gonna shine. But he went polar opposite.
Right.
Dirty.
Kept it street.
The dog, DMX.
Yeah.
Don't get more dirty than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when he did that, if you look at Get At Me Dog, that video, you see it. It was ugly as hell. By design. Irv wanted it to hurt your eyes to look at it. He wanted it to be dirty because let's take it back to the streets, motherfucker. The soundbite Irv made X say that. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I got, you know, it's crazy bringing these things up and he's not here.
The one thing I wanted to ask you, because it's a lot of history behind it. Can I get a what?
Yeah.
That record, I heard that was initially Ja Rule's. Is that true?
We're in the offices at Def Jam at the time on Varick Street. That's 160 Varick. That's where the original Def Jam offices are. Chris Lighty and Irv share an office. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there. I mean, small, very small office. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Jay-Z comes walking by, says, "What's up?" Here's the music and stops outside the door. Outside the door, he just stops. But we don't know that. We're in there listening to the music because it's Ja's first single.
Right.
And it's Can I Get Her? Little Rob made it.
Ooh, okay.
And we're sitting there and Jay pops in. He's like, "Yo, what's that?" Everyone's like, "Yo, that's Ja's first single. Yo, this shit," like we excited because we're getting ready for Vena Vena Vici, that album. And you know, back then, without a single, even now, without a single, you really didn't move. You had to keep waiting. You had to keep waiting until you had that single so you could come with something. So Jay leaves, but he doesn't leave. He's still right there. He's writing the record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then he comes back in and says, "I gotta have that record. I gotta have that record." Irv said that's Ja's. No, Irv said that's Ja's record. He said, "I'll ask. I don't, you know, if you." Irv loved Jay. He loved X. He loves Ja. Like love, like
right.
And so anything they asked, Irv would have laid down for them. Like that's what I told Jay one time, but that's a whole nother story about some shit. That goes back to the Nas and Jay beef and everything like that. But I was like, "Jay, you understand? My brother would die for you, nigga." Like, but that's the point. Like Irv was like, "You want Ja's single? Let me talk to Ja." Ja being who Ja is, like, "Gotti, I'll make another one. Fuck that." Because Jay was saying, "I'll put it in the soundtrack. We're gonna get him this much money for the record. The whole thing. I'll put it on my album." And it was a great business move for Ja as well as us. Like it was the stepping stone, the breakout record.
Right.
Like to
at
get
the time,
started.
Jay-Z had the Annie record out, right? That was buzzing, right?
No, that's not the time. It was.
Oh no,
I'm bad with timelines. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that's Annie came after this. This is the Rush Hour soundtrack.
Okay.
So if you found out the Rush Hour soundtrack date and time, you would understand. I want to finish getting back to that question with Murder Inc. because I didn't finish it, and I know we got off on all these other things, but because I started all those producers and then I started taking them up in 6 months, I took them from 5,000 to 50,000, and by the end of the year, he was at 100,000. By the end of the second year, we was at 250,000 a track, and that's how Murder Inc. was born. Wow. Because Tommy Mottola calls us up and says, "I want to buy 4 beats." I'm like, "Okay, that's $1 million. Let's go." He sends Dave McPherson to meet us I believe it was Justin's, the restaurant. Justin's, that's Puffy's restaurant. He had a famous restaurant in New York called Justin's. And we go there and we get distracted for a second. He's like, got papers, and he throws it in front of Irv. It's a contract. And he says, we don't want to buy beats. Tommy wants to give you a record label. So now we don't have a name. You ask, how did we come up with the name? It was, honestly, Irv was watching Arts and Entertainment Channel, A&E, and it's Gangster Week. And every time I tell his story, it's like, come on, it's like, it's so dope because it was a double entendre. It's Gangster Week, and it's Albert Anesthesia, it's Lucky Luciano, and these guys formed the notorious Murder Inc. That was the voice when you seen it on TV. And then you had the Tommy gun, da-da-da-da-da. So you seen the bullets riddled on the screen. If you went to our studio, the Crack House, we had the same bullets on the wall, like with every artist's name that we was fucking with inside the bullet. So it was like Irv went crazy because we didn't have a name, but we had a label about to get started, and we don't have a fucking name for the label. But that's how Murder Inc. was formed, because what did they do? They made hits. What do? We make fucking hits. You understand? That's the God's honest truth. That's exactly how it came up. Irv called me going crazy. He called Ja going crazy. I'll never forget, he called Jay-Z. I got the fucking name. You know what I'm saying? And that's the birth of Murder Inc. But that's really how it happened. It was by the work. So the hard work of me finding these producers, getting them out, and making all these hit records. Irv is still in the Guinness Book at #1 as a producer. I believe, I want to say it's 42 weeks at #1, which, let's say he produced your record. You went #1. You take him out. Right. You take him out for 42 weeks. He's still in the Guinness Book. I don't know if that's ever going to come down because that's something really hard to do as a producer standpoint. It wasn't, it was, the artist was Mary J. Blige, Ja Rule, Ashanti, Jennifer Lopez, Mariah Carey, and I think another Ja Rule. It was like 6.
God damn.
Yeah, all #1s in the country, like on the Hot 100. You know what I mean? When you got when you got DHERBS, anything's possible for this. You know what I mean? That's a fact. That's a huge fact. He was a huge part of everything we did with that. Him and Irv. Irv became what I call the radio whore. Irv was a radio whore, right? And DHERBS showed him the way.
Right.
He showed him the way. And what is a radio whore, in my opinion? On Sundays, he could call the program director, pretty much any city program director. He could call them on a Sunday when they're with their family and they're picking up and talking to them. And Irv would give away our artists. He would give them away. All these artists, it was a trade-off. You do these shows.
Right.
It's not payola. We won't use that P word, but it's a form of what it is, right? Yeah. And instead of us charging our normal fee of whatever it might have been, we give you the love price. Right.
They do a show for the radio station, right?
This is one of my beefs with Universal because they took all our favors. I could sit here and say, honestly, like, they used it to break Nelly. They used it to break Ludacris. These artists is how they broke because the favors we had, remember, we're a joint venture. Yeah. So technically, my favors was supposed to go to Black Child, to Caddy, to Vita, to Charlie Baltimore, aside from Ja and Ashanti and Lloyd. We didn't get the favors. They used them for their artists, where they own 100% of, not 50%. It's business. And, hindsight is 20/20, and this is something I learned the hard way, right? You learn that the hard way, but it is what it is. But they used our favors to help break those artists.
So you talk about your relationship with Jay-Z, Ja Rule, and Big. How did Irv meet Jay-Z? Because I never even heard. I never heard that story.
Jazzo, man, shout out Jazz. Irv was just out and about. You can't get lucky or run into opportunities if you're not doing something. Right. We was always doing stuff. Going to this party, that party, or whatever it was. And being out. And then him and Jazz, they ended up forming a relationship, and Jazz was asking for beats and help. And Irv was like, done. And that's Jay's man.
And Jazz is Hawaii Sofa, right?
Yeah, Irv and Jazz got, Irv and Jay got really cool Irv made his first trip to London with Jazz, who was signed to EMI, and Jay was out there with him. And they formed a bond. Remember, Jazz is the artist, so he's not with the help, let's call it. Irv was his DJ.
Okay.
Irv was helping him DJing and putting the shows together with Jazz. Like, Irv would get in wherever he can to get started, like he was doing it. And I would just send him some money and make sure he's good. At that time, at that point in time, there's no money being made. It's
right.
But he's forming these relationships, you know. I know when I first met Jay, he comes to Hollis in the 300 Lexus, you know, with TVs in the headrests and everything. So his shit is glowing at night. You know what I mean? And I'm like, who the fuck is this? It's Jay. Yeah. And then we just hit it off from there.
That's what's
up. Yeah, it's had all these relationships with Jay-Z, DMX, Ja Rule. What destroyed that? What happened? How hard was it to navigate?
When you say destroyed, man, I still fuck with everybody.
Right, but like DMX, DMX and Jay-Z, not for you guys, obviously, because you're
we're destroyed
through DMX from and Jay-Z's beef kind of probably broke up what could have been that group, no? Or what happened to that?
For sure, that was greed, in my opinion. That's greed. It got down to when we first did it, it was a third. Each Murder Inc., Rough Riders, Rockefeller.
Right.
And everyone was cool. DNY was like, Gotti, whatever. X, you got it. Jay said yes. And it got hairy over there. I don't want to name names, but there's only a few names you could mention that said, and it could be good cop, bad cop too. Jay could have said yes because he didn't want to say no. Right? And then the no came. They made it about money, then it was like, it's not going to work. Irv we was taking the producers, we was taking Swiss with us, we was taking, oh my God, with Jay-Z Rockefeller, what's his name? Come on, man. The main producer they was using at that time, I'm bad, I'm sorry, I'm getting old, bro, but him and us, and we was going to, Irv wanted to go to either Trinidad or Jamaica to make the album and just disappear for like a month and make his like 30 songs and cherry pick the best records. They was all gung-ho when he first laid it out, and then something happened. That's what that magazine on XXL was about. When you see them three on the magazine, it was about they already said yes.
So they was going to do it.
Yeah, that's why we did the magazine.
So is that what started the beef?
What beef are you talking about? You keep talking about beef. I want to hear what beef
There's some
you talking
beef
about.
songs between Jay-Z and DMX, no?
Jay-Z and DMX. Jay-Z and DMX beef is different. That goes back from battling rapping. In a pool hall, they was battled and the guns was drawn and all of that shit.
They had that shit before they got on.
They was
going to form after that.
Before they got on.
Okay.
And Irv was in the middle of that, keeping everything cool from then till, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until. But they ended up becoming very cool, you know what I'm saying? They become.
So it was just money then.
Yeah, it was about money.
But the producer be, I'm just gonna name a few. Just Blaze.
Just Blaze. There you go. Thank you. That's who's coming with us. It was us. It was Just Blaze, Swiss Beats, and Irv. Like,
anyway, do you guys have anything to do with the Def Jam fight game?
No, they stole that. But that's, listen, that's their job. They own the IP. And they said, let's cut a deal. And they they own all the likenesses of all the artists, right? That's what labels do. They own your name, image, and likeness. Right. So it's not like it's weird. They're just doing business, trying to make as much money and exploit those, that intellectual property that they own as much as possible. That's all they want to do. They want to exploit. If you was the CEO, you do the same thing. You be thinking of, how can I make money from these things that I own and control? Is it right, or did they cut the right deals with the artists? No, that's the unethical side of it. I have a different way of looking at business. If you sign a piece of paper and you put your name on it, you honor the fucking deal and shut the fuck up. Now, the hotter you get, right? The more successful you get. What are you supposed to do? I'm not the same dude. I'm different. Let's talk about it and let's fix it. And no businessman is not gonna talk about it. Right? I don't want to lose that.
Right.
So I'm going to negotiate, give you more of the piece. It's going to make sense. But you got to be above. You can't be where you was at and do that conversation because you're going to get the hard no. but you get up.
Yeah.
There's not one executive that's not changing that deal for you. There's not one. Yeah. They'll lose their job for having a disgruntled superstar. You understand? They'll lose their fucking job. No one wants to. In corporate America, it's self-preservation at the highest level. They're gonna fucking kill anything they can to keep their job. So there's no way they don't renegotiate.
Speaking of superstars, is there superstars in rap or hip hop or music anymore the way it's going? Because I've heard, who said it, that they're trying to bury superstars.
But you know, that's a great question.
Somebody put that out. That
I don't want to down these guys. I'm a supporter of all music and creators, and you know, the reality is a superstar was groomed and made, and you don't see that today. So they would have to do it themselves. And if they don't have the wherewithal and understanding how to do that, it's going to be very hard to create that superstar. And one more point, social media. See, go back in the day, no one knew what they was doing, so it creates a vibe when they do show up.
Mystery.
Now today, you're fucking accessible so much. It's like,
That's what I was going to ask.
I seen them.
Right.
And that's a big deal. You got to understand it. The biggest artists today are the least seen.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That the biggest artists are the least seen. You can't find Dot. You can't find his ass. As much as he's exposed, when he's not doing something, he's hidden. It's private.
Like fucking Frank Ocean. He hasn't released an album like in 8 years, but people waiting for his concerts.
You know, Frank Ocean's cool, but I was never excited about Frank Ocean. I'm sorry. I never go, oh man, I can't wait for that Frank Ocean. I don't think he captured that in the culture.
I don't know
Who do you like right now?
He had a different feel. He said, yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, he does have a different feel. That's true.
That's what he said.
Who do you like right now?
Artist-wise?
Yeah.
Lil Durk. Free Durkio.
Lil Durk.
I'm a very big Durk fan.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's an incredible talent, artist-wise. It's J. Cole, again, Dot, Kendrick, of course, Yeezy. Like, I mean,
So I have a question.
but I'm a huge Durk fan, and I'm sad that he's in the predicament he's in. And I hope there's a way, because I heard some of his homies told me there might be something, but they always say that to get him out.
Right.
Like everyone inside says, oh, they got something. Okay, I'm praying he gets out, because
Trump.
Jail's not for anybody. Maybe.
Trump like to pardon slabs.
Hey, and you know, money,
put 'em
cash
up there.
rules everything around me.
So with the Drake and Kendrick beef, everybody talking about, oh, can Drake make a comeback? But I feel like the artist that got hit the most was J. Cole.
Yeah, J. Cole stayed out of it. I don't know if he got hit the most, but he definitely took a blow.
Right.
He definitely took a blow. I'm not gonna act like he didn't. I was disappointed that
I was too.
because hip hop is a blood sport.
Yeah.
It's a blood sport. Kill or be killed. That's it. Feast or famine, nigga. Get in the game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Get in the game. That's it. And then to take the high road, you just you're leading these new artists to think that it's not a blood sport.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. What do I know?
I'm with you. I'm with you. When he bailed out, it hurt my heart because that was my artist. Out of all those artists that in there, me and John, that was my guy. I was like, oh yeah, it's about to get crazy.
It hurt. And he's North Carolina Queens, so he's a Queens guy for me. And I know Jay, and I know when he got signed, I know everything. I know Jay, and it's like, damn, bro, you him. Act like it.
Right. And Jay-Z helped him with his situation, right? Or was he his situation?
His career?
In the beginning.
Yeah. That's what I just wanted to.
Well, he signed to Rock Nation, right? He was over there, but I'll never forget a day. I'll give you a true story.
Okay.
Me and my brother were with Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Cole comes up, and he's telling Jay, and Jay's like not really paying too much attention to him.
Right.
He's asking for help. And then Irv says, nigga, what's wrong with you? You got to do this shit yourself. Jay's not going to help you. And Jay's like this, pointing to Irv. Like, do you hear what he's saying? So it was probably a real eye-opening thing for Cole. I guarantee he'll never forget that day. If you was to see him and talk to him, and you ask that day, he cannot. Like, this is 1,000%. And Irv was telling him, like, you got to do it. Jay's his own. At the end of the day, Jay is not only the boss, but he's also an artist. It's a blood sport. He wants to kill you.
Right.
Simple and plain. Even though you're his artist.
Right. So when he was asking for help, he was already signed to Rock.
He was already signed.
And he was like, it's not really working out the way I thought it should.
Yeah, he's thinking he needs more help, more assistance from the label, and this and Jay's looking at him like, nigga, who are you talking? What? But it worked out for him. Look at that. Probably made him,
motivated him,
changed him. It probably made him think differently. See, you gotta understand. There's all these different things, and it's who you're dealing with. Some people fold up under these circumstances, and some people thrive.
There you go.
He thrived. Shout out J. Cole. He thrived, and I know he remembers that day. I know he remembers it because I was hurt for him. Like, damn, that's Cole. Like, I as a executive that owned the label with my brother, I wouldn't talk to my artist that way.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying it's wrong for Jay to do so. Like, I'm not acting like it, but I wouldn't have. I would have took a different approach.
Right.
So I understood his pain when and you could see it in his face after it was said. This is probably his idol at the time, Jay.
For sure.
Z. He signed to his idol. You know, I would tell Irv all the time when he would yell at his kids. I said, it's like God yelling, yo. You can't do that, bro. You're a god to these guys. Even the artists you're dealing with, you got to understand that. And he, fuck that. Irv didn't give a fuck. And God is going to yell at him. Fuck it. But you understand what I mean? Like, think about what I'm saying. Like, when someone puts you in that pedestal and then you come at them.
Right.
You really could crush them completely. It takes a very strong individual to deal with that and keep going.
Talking about rap being a blood sports and you coming from Queens.
Yeah.
How hard was it like when Jay-Z and Nas started beefing?
It wasn't. It was fun. That's the game. That's the game that you chose to be in. It wasn't hard. And I fuck with Nas. I fuck with Jay.
Who do you think won the beef?
Listen to me. Everyone talks about that. I would say, again, if you Jay outworked him. See, Nas didn't put out enough work, in my opinion. Yes, Ether was a better record than what? Super Ugly? Is it better than Takeover? It's right there. No, let's call it a draw.
Takeover crazy though.
Let's call it a draw. Like, I don't even want to argue that. Let's call that a draw. But when they compared it, see, the audience that is not from that space, from that, like, they're not really taking things in consideration. It was a freestyle, which was Super Ugly, versus a record that's gonna get played by a guy like the Mizza 1,000 times. The freestyle's only your mix show DJ. So everyone said, oh, Nas won. If we're in a war, you shoot me, am I dead? No. Right? What happens when I come back and start hitting you up? And that's what happened because Nas didn't have more, in my opinion, more records behind it.
Right.
And Jay kept hitting them. And that to me is okay. You ever see the Gangs of New York?
Yeah.
The Butcher, what'd he say? That's a flesh wound.
Yeah.
You heard me? Yeah. That was a flesh wound.
Speaking of flesh
wounds. And I'm not saying Jay killed him.
Yeah.
But Jay gave him more flesh wounds. So if you're going to really count, you got to count right. You can't just count one thing. And I love Nas. I promise you, Queens, nigga. Like, come on, man. Jungle. Shout out Jungle's brother. Like, you understand?
Yeah.
It's just, I had to be in the middle. And just remember, Irv made Super Ugly. Irv produced Super Ugly for Jay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Now, a beef that you were deep in.
Yeah.
And probably the second biggest beef possibly in hip-hop history was maybe Ja Rule and 50 Cent. At least the most exposed commercially beef.
Without social media, imagine that. Imagine if it was social media
would have been
with that.
crazy.
Oh my God. I don't even want to deal with it. Like, to think of, but no, seriously, listen to me, the beef, again, if you know my history, I grew up fighting. Beef is not an issue. Like, I had real beef in my life. That wasn't real beef for me. I had real beef for 2 years on site. Niggas is shooting back and forth. Bodies is lost. I mean, lots of bodies, not just, like, that's real beef. On site, anywhere, it's gunplay. That wasn't that. We chased. I'm a hunter. I'm not a hunted. I'm not hunted, if you understand. And that's, I don't want to, go further in it, but that's the facts. Like, I never felt pressure. See, the public, here's the pressure I feel. I keep it 100, I promise you. I would go to a club. I walk in the club. I got a few dudes with me. We walk in, and all you would hear is, I'm like, wait a minute. They gonna kill me. They gonna kill me. But see, you learn quick, right? And what did I learn quick? It's just fans.
Yeah.
I'm really Murder Inc., nigga. So you understand the difference?
Yeah.
So I would approach these people, and I'd be very disrespectful. God's honest truth. Because I want, if you're really with it, and I was like, you ain't G-Unit, nigga. You just a groupie, nigga. What's up? You like his music? He got hot records. I'm not crazy. I'd be in the club dancing.
Right.
Niggas would look at me like I'm a Martian. Like, what are you doing dancing to? I said, this shit is hot. What the fuck you want me to do? You understand? That's the facts. Like, that's 1,000%. But I approach people. And yeah, Irv was on Dream Champs. That's my receipts here. Irv talking about, like, I told my brother stop going out. Why did he say that? You know why? We got in nothing but lawsuits. Yeah. Because I didn't know gangsters fight. I mean, that gangsters would sue you.
Yeah.
I thought they gonna come back at you after I bust their ass and they gotta go to the doctor or whatever it may be and get their wounds dealt with. They sued you, and we paying $50,000, $100,000 to all of these different so-called gangsters. And I'm like, damn, this is different. How much y'all think
you paid out for the 50 Cent beef?
No one paid more in lawsuits from fighting than Murder Inc. I can't foresee. I don't see it. That's how real it was. Yeah. Wow. But it wasn't because of pressure. See, it's because I actually instigated. That's why Irv was like, don't. And my instigation of it wasn't to do it. It was really, I felt that if I didn't, that wave was so big and so strong. If I didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I'd be in fucking Albuquerque, New Mexico, ducked down somewhere. Because it would have been that real. And I'm like, I can't live that way. And that's what I told her. If I'm not staying in, I kept Murder Inc. alive. Right. Everywhere. Do
you think 50 Cent takes it too far sometimes with his?
That's his job.
Ooh.
That's what, see, you got to understand business. That's what made him successful. He'll never change. He's only going to do more of it. He started off by shitting on Ja. We don't know him. He's shitting on Ja and everything. And he becomes the #1 rapper in the game. He's never going to change. Why would anyone expect him? He's the #1 troll in the game, right? He trolls everybody. How did he shit all over Floyd and he don't really
fight?
Not that he don't fight. It's not that. You don't know him. Floyd didn't have to be your friend and be there with you like that. And then you want to talk about him in all types of crazy ways. Why would you do that? Why would you laugh at niggas like Diddy and go as a black man? As a black man, let's keep it a buck, nigga.
Two people from New York.
It's a black man.
Crazy.
Like, why don't you big up another nigga like that? You know what I'm saying? But he picks and chooses his battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He picks and chooses. He's a smart, witty dude, yo. And that makes for a really good troll nigga.
Have you ever had a conversation with him?
No, I don't know him. My first day actually even being, this is why the beef wasn't real. I can't have a beef and I don't really know you. I tell everyone, like, we could fight. I could meet a stranger and fight. That's no problem. We did that a few times. You know what I'm saying? That's easy. But how could I keep that in here if it's not real to me? I have 0 losses on the street with the G Unit members. That's a fact. That's a fact. Again, I don't have a problem saying it, and I don't want to instigate no shit. I'm not trying to stir up anything. I'm just saying what the facts are. And I try to challenge people like yourself that may not have lived it or been in it, because you might have heard things, to really answer the question you're asking yourself by just researching. Like I said, when you see all the things he's done, I don't have to talk about it. It's there. You just got to admit it, but maybe you're a fan. Right? And if you're a fan, you put things that's to the side. He has a big voice. I'm a fan. I get it. I overstand. That's why I don't really care. Like, you bring it up and look, we're talking about something that's 20-something years ago, 25 years ago. Like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. He could walk in right now. Unless he wants to do something, I wouldn't give a fuck. It wouldn't be nothing. It would be 0.
Chris, how did you guys meet Ja Rule? How did that?
Shout out Chris Black. He was in a group, Cash Money Click. Chris Black lived up the block from us and was in a group, and he brought him and a guy named O Miller. We had a group called Cash Money Click, and he was like, "This is the group." But Chris Black is like a real slick talking nigga, like, but he ain't really a rapper.
Right.
He's finessing the game, kind of, and it was the shit what he would say was hard, but pause. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was that. It wasn't like he's a rapper, right? And then you heard Ja, and it was like, who's that voice? Like, then you see him, and you're like, this nigga got that voice like that. And Irv, as soon as he had it, was like, yo, what he's asking me, you think he should go solo? He should go solo. I said, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And that was your first artist? The first?
You know, people don't realize Ja Rule's Vena Vita Vici was on Def Jam. It wasn't on Murder Inc. Even though we put Murder Inc. on it, we was in the middle of the deal. And what we did was tell Def Jam, put our imprint on it, but they already had signed Ja. We took him from Blunt Records, got him over that deal, put him on Def Jam. He made Vena Vita Vici. It's on Def Jam, but we made the world think. See, it's smoke and mirrors. All that shit is smoke and mirrors that you think. That's why I said it's all fake. It's not real. But when you ask me, I'm going to give you real. But it's all fake, man. It's like, you know, I wish him all the best. I promise you that. Get money, nigga. Leave me alone. I ain't worried about you. You do you. That's a fact. I want to see. I have a different philosophy than most. Maybe because I was in real beefs. And most of the beefs I was in, those dudes are my friends today. Even after loss. And that's something that's special to me. Like, because loss is the one thing, it's so hard to turn back. If someone's gone from that beef and to make amends with them. And at the end of the day, that's why I look at it differently. And my philosophy is it's one less person I have to worry about when you get successful. Right? So the more successful you are, I shouldn't have to think about you harming me, my family, anyone in my family, a friend. That should be the furthest thing from your mind. You should be trying to get money. You understand? So that's how I look at it. If you're really trying to keep perpetuating that, to me, that's not real. I know the craziest gangsters that they converted. He's not that. Right? You understand? So he's not from that. Like, they always put up his picture from jail, and it's like he did Shock. I don't know if you guys know what Shock was. In New York, it was a program. If you got locked up, you go to Shock program. That was for the guys that didn't want to do the time. So it's Shock. Whenever you see his jail picture and he's so slim and you see it, that's because he went through Shock. It's like boot camp, and you could get out. But that was where all of the dudes that couldn't do jail time. So that's a whole nother story. But that's a New York thing. Anyone from the New York know what I'm talking about.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm just saying that. Like, my first day when I met him, I was going to say that it was DJ Clue called me to come to a game for basketball at Chelsea Piers. And there's other dudes, Bernard. Shout out Bernard, you know what I'm saying? He was EPMD's manager. And I go to the play ball. I never left home without it. You understand? I never left home without it. So, I go out there. I'm by myself. Go play ball. And then this is when he was just doing mixtape and shitting. And he was fucking with Bang'em Smurf. I don't know if you remember Bang'em Smurf. He just hit me too. What up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? And I keep hearing chitter chatter. So I grabbed the ball. I stopped the game. Like, my man, do I know you? Like, what's up? And Smurf come running over to him. No, yo, Fifth, chill out. Yo, Fifth, let's just play ball. Just play ball. When he say Fifth, I said, oh, this must be this dude 50. Must be. I don't know what he looked like. That's the first day I met him. I clotheslined him, dropped him. Like, he come down the court. I just clotheslined him for no reason while he was going to the hole. Just because I grew up like fighting. So I'm like, if you run a fight, we could fight. He just put that smirk on. He jumped back up. I gave him another real hard foul again. He don't do nothing. So I grabbed the ball and said, come on, nigga, just play ball. Let's go. And that was my first day. I swear on everything. That was my first day meeting him. And it was like that. It was like, you know, he seen Bernard going in my bag, and I was like, don't go in my bag. And him and Bang Smurf left, so I thought maybe they forming up outside. So I called my studio right up the block. I called my niggas, they come, and they was like, Chris, ain't nobody outside. I said, okay. See, if that's the shoes of the other foot, if I was him, he couldn't. It would have been an issue. See, that's just how I grew up. It would have been an issue. I'm not just walking away and leaving you there knowing you by yourself. Oh, you're going to have a problem. And that's why I said it. And that's why I said it. But the people think these things. But he was very calculated in the way he moved and everything. Again, I don't like even harping and talking on it because it's perpetuating something that's finished to me.
Got you.
I can't remember. Did Ashanti have shits, or did you guys like discover Ashanti? How she come?
How did I find it? We have a guy named Mario Baeza. He's like an uncle who had Ashanti signed. Ashanti had 3 deals before she got to Murder Inc.
Oh.
Yeah, people don't know that. And she had 3 deals. And Mario wanted, he was trying to get a deal with Warner Brothers through Dick Parsons, who's the chairman at the time of Warner. And he wanted Irv to make records for Ashanti, his artist. So Irv never meets her. He just played, and Irv was unimpressed because she was singing records not like he makes, but you know, the way she was making it. And he was like, okay. And for Mario, because Mario's like an uncle with us in the family, we was like, you know, but Irv didn't want to do nothing. I went, and that's why I tell the story, because I would go to Jersey where she was at, bring her beats, because I had all the music. It's right to this, just to test her. Write this type of record, write that type of record, and she'd do it. And when I heard that, I was like, she got a pen. So I know, in my mind, I'm like, when she get with my brother, it's over. He gonna kill it. And I would bring Irv, the records and like to hear, and he would hit me. I just told Demiz, we gonna do this when we working right now. He hit me with that. You know, that's the blinkers for the horse. He would hit me with this. Nigga, stay focused. We would get money with Ja Rule. Fuck that shit. I'm like, damn, nigga, I'm just trying to broaden our horizons, nigga. You know, I'm just trying to expand into another genre of music and stuff like that. And he was like this. And then one day, Fat Joe calls me, and he wants to do this record with Pun. He said, and he just calls me because, you know, and he's like, man, I got to get an R&B singer for this Pun record. I said, I got one. He said, you do? I said, yeah, what studio? Give me the studio. I called Ashanti. She drive from her house right to the studio. I meet her over there. She pinned that hook, sing it, crack go crazy. Yo, he's like, yo, that's your artist. She's dope. She's dope. I said, do me a favor. What's that? Tell Irv. Yeah. He did. He called Irv and said, yo, your artist. I'm right next to him. Yo, your artist, she's dope. Yo, this. I was like, what artist? Ashanti. He's like, word? Okay, get off the phone. My phone ring right after. Yo, bring that girl up to the studio. And that's the birth. That's dope. It. I would bring her to the office before that and I would go in Irv's office and say, come inside and say what's up to her, because I'm telling her he heard her music and he didn't hear shit.
Right.
He didn't hear nothing. And I'm like, yo, go and say what's up. And she had a manager named Linda, her mother, Tina, and her. And they would sit on my couch, just sitting there, waiting to hear from Irv motherfucking Gotti, nigga. So again, I just tell the story because that's what it was. It's like, I know she may not like to hear it, but that's the facts. You know, I love Ashanti. That's Bon Bon. You know what I'm saying? Irv and her, they created magic. It's simple as that. No one could deny that. And what I tell everybody when they talk about their relationship, I say, let me talk to your ex and see what the fuck they say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's put it in perspective. And then let's see if you and your ex created history that changed the game. Again, she's in the Guinness Book of World Records still. Biggest selling R&B artist first week.
I think Billboard just or somebody put out a list. I don't know if it ain't no official list or nothing, but they said Ja Rule and Ashanti probably the best R&B hip hop duo of all time.
Could be. I'm telling you, when you go on the shows, and me personally, listen, again, if you know me, you know me, meaning if my brother was fucking up, I tell everybody he's fucking up and what he was doing. And if he's doing good, I'm not going to not do that, right? You can't do the bad without giving up the good.
Right.
When you go and hear them records and you watch that reaction from the audience after all this time, and I've seen what we call them legacy artists. I don't know what you would call it. Other legacy artists. Nah, it's different. It's different. I don't know how to explain it better than that. And that's God. That's a blessing, you know? And I'm talking about not just the United States, overseas, everything, man. You know, when Ja came home from jail, he only could get shows overseas. Right? America wasn't, it was shorts. It was like he wouldn't take it. That nigga getting money now. Like, it's crazy. I'm so happy for him because the world got shorted on his talent. That nigga,
did.
They got shorted on his talent, and he's one of one. No one says nothing because of all of the bullshit, right? The facts are the facts. I'll put him up against anyone, bar for bar. Let's go. He was that good.
So with Ashanti, what was the record that you guys decided, okay, let's put all our cards in and keep?
The first record, Foolish. We didn't have a deal. She wasn't signed. She was still signed to Mario. That's how Irv moves. I'm the business side, and Irv was like, we going, so I'm going with you. Leor was like, I'm not giving you any money. Because she's not signed. It's business. Irv, you crazy? We do this video. We making this record. We put all this money in radio and everything, and we don't have a deal with this girl. She could walk and leave. Nah, she ain't leaving. I get it, but she can. And we rolled the dice. Irv, without a deal, and we put up a lot of money to roll her out, and it worked. And once we did, we got her signed. We had to pay Mario a nice check too to get a release, so it was like counterproductive, right? We made the artist he had signed hot, and now he's like, oh, my number's higher now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we paid it and got her. But that's the facts. Like, that was a real deal. That was the first record, Foolish. And
she ever re-record her new?
I don't know. I don't really even know. I'm not worried about that. Like, again, this is like, you can't recreate that magic. I don't give a fuck. I've been in the game. You cannot recreate the magic. You know, she was asking, Irv said it in Drink Champs, like she was asking for the stems because she wants the original shit. I was like, I'm not giving you the stems. Like, are you crazy? Remake it. You want to remake it? Try. Good luck. You know, Irv's favorite producer is Dr. Dre. When they met, I was telling Demiz, when they met, it was a love fest. He was telling Irv, you're the best, and Irv was telling Dre, no, you're the best. But they was going through the actual songs they made. How did you do this? Where'd you get that from? Yo, it was super dope. Super dope. I wish it was in this era because I would have a video of it.
Yeah. Right.
This is the Up in Smoke tour. This is the day. He flew us out. Dre flew us to the Up in Smoke tour to come meet him and be with him. And again, before all of this crazy shit, Irv was cool with, we was talking about last night, Eminem and all of that. You know, the beef changed everything.
Right.
Right? For no reason. It's crazy. For no reason. But at the end of the day, you know, Irv's producing idol is Dr. Dre. I would say idol. Irv loved Dr. Dre, what he did on the West Coast with all the sound. Irv is a East Coast, West Coast enthusiast. Like, he loved what was going on over here. And the way Dre made beats, he was just like, where did he get these sounds? Where did he get this? How did he make it sound this way, like from a production standpoint? And Dre was saying the same thing, so it was kind of crazy when I was just a witness to that while they was together, you know, talking. Yeah.
Speaking of your basketball story, you got a little league going on now, huh?
Yes.
What's up with that? What's up with your basketball league?
Man, Clash Pro League. I have 8 teams. It's a league of 8. And I changed the rules. I'm the commissioner. They call me the hood. They call me the hood David Stern. I said, I'm not Adam Silver. Stern is the one. I'm Stern. I'll take that. Yeah. But man, we created 8 teams. I created all the images, everything. I mean, you know the logos for each team, and then the rules. I didn't want to do NBA rules. Why? The NBA is the best product. It's the best product you could have in basketball. There's no one close to that product. Nothing is close to that product. Overseas, wherever you go, nothing's close to the NBA. Those are the absolute best athletes, and I will not have that. I don't have the money to pay them like that. Yeah. I'm more of a Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico type league. Same kind of compensation financially, but it's in New York, your home. And why did I do it? There's only 64 players every year that could get drafted. 2 rounds, right? It's 64 players. That's it.
This is dope as hell. How long you been doing this?
I just did it last year. No, let me tell you. Let me tell you something. Hey, listen to me. I got everyone that wants to do it, but no one's coming across the finish line with the money. I put up the money with my investors, but I need more money, right? It's a very costly thing, and I got it as cheap as I could have it. Like all the other leagues around is way more expensive. But I did 8 leagues. I changed the rules. If you think of the NBA, so that's the North Star. The NBA is like, that's the pinnacle. So I look at what they do and the mistakes they make. If in my opinion, I love everyone getting money, but if I gave everyone in this room $50 million, who's showing up to do this podcast tomorrow?
Nobody.
You understand? So that's the NBA's biggest problem.
Guess it's just me.
Yeah, but that's the biggest problem. You understand? Like, these players make so much money. That's why the game is diving down, right? So when you get into the absolute, and just remember, I'm 4 decades in street basketball in New York. I've managed careers from Steve Francis to Monte Ellis to Baron Davis. Like, I'm inside of the NBA and street ball. So I have that whole gamut of information, knowledge of basketball players and business in the NBA / overseas / street ball. So I made the game more physical because, in my opinion, what's the second most, if I don't count NCAA, don't count college basketball because I love college basketball. So don't count that. What's the second most exciting basketball game to watch? After you got the NBA, what's your next best game to watch, to be entertained with?
After college?
Don't count college.
Don't count college?
Don't count college. Professional game, a professional game.
Olympics?
You got the FIBA games. No. See, that's the problem. And that's where I find my niche right there, because street ball is probably the next best coveted game to watch.
And one type
to
stuff.
watch and one type game, right?
I don't think he's doing and one.
I'm not, but I helped and one with all the players in New York. So, but it's an and one type because it's street ball. But I made it official. It's a basketball. I did 1-on-1, no zones. It's more competitive. That's the problem with the NBA. It's not competitive because the NBA made a decision years ago that they'd rather see 120 points versus 80 points. See, when the Knicks was banging out and fighting and win with 80 and beat a team by 10 points, it was boring as hell, but it was super competitive. The league doesn't want that. They made it where the 3-ball, they just changed it.
I think they messed it up, to be honest.
Okay, that's what I feel has happened.
Did you take the 3-point line away?
No way.
Checking.
You gotta have it. I don't want to change the game in that sense, like the actual game. I don't want to make a 4-point play. People's like, make a 4-point play. Right. I don't want to do that.
So then people,
if they're shooting, okay, if we're not the NBA and we're shooting at 30% with a 4-point shot, what are we going to shoot, 10%? You think that's a good thing to watch?
Nah.
Just because one person might make it out of 1,000 shots? Like, that's not fun.
And it makes it gimmicky, like,
it's
like
gimmicky.
trampoline
So what
basketball.
I did is I made it very physical. I shortened the game, attention span. Like, it's not the best athlete, right? They're not the NBAs. Now, these are all collegiate players. These are really talented or overseas players that are playing in my league. When I say street ball, it's not like just someone that could play ball. No. You had to have a background pedigree in order to be in my league. I did a combine, the whole thing.
Oh.
No, crazy. I can show you video. I'll send you everything. It's super fire. I'll show you the crowd.
You got a website and everything? You got to make sure we have all that so we can point people towards it.
Clash Basketball. That's it. Go right there. You'll see it all. The website. But what ended up happening is it's a cult following. Like, everyone was showing up. And I did it in the Sundays during NFL. NBA was going on. I'm selling out every week. and I'm switching the start time this year to March. So last year I did it in September, but I'm gonna get more lead time because I'm making changes. I don't want to stay the same. I want to add on all the time. So I'm selling, or really I'm giving away. I'm gonna tell you, if you hear this, influencers. If you have a real big influencer amount of people in your social medias, I'll give you a team. I already have. It's 8 teams. I already have 4. I'll tell you the 4. I have French Montana, Ja Rule, Fat Joe, Jadakiss. Oh, yeah. 5. Ball Alert. Shout out Robin. So Ball Alert, big influential platform. Right. I love her. And then SEC Fat Boy. I got 6. I got 2 slots left. So I want Chris Brown. I want people who have basketball affinity. Like all of those rappers I mentioned are at the parks with me. Right. Fat Joe is an icon in street ball, like what he did in street ball. Ja Rule comes whenever he can. Jada comes whenever he can. Fat Joe French Montana begged me to get teams in Dykeman before. We just never got to it. So for him to have a team is dope. Robin wants to start a sports division with Ball Alert. Again, fire. Makes all the sense in the world. SEC Fat Boy always at games and stuff like that. So him and Shiggy, I'm putting them together. So him and Shiggy together.
So I know New York is famous for playing outside. Yes. Are you guys playing outside?
We're inside.
And what arena or what?
We have a gym on 119th Street in Manhattan in Harlem.
How many seats?
Not crazy. So I took my music background again. I use all my knowledge from all my businesses to build my businesses. What is that? What I mean by that is, if I had an artist and I could go sell out the Garden, or could sell 70%, even 75%, but I could go to Hammerstein Ballroom that holds about 5,000. I'm going to Hammerstein. It's crazy. It's because I'd rather sell out than not. The story is bigger. I'd rather you not
Harder
get in.
to get in.
Harder to get in.
People don't have a ticket.
That FOMO, they made that acronym for it, right? That's that FOMO, that fear of missing out.
I love it.
That's what I did, and I sold out every week. My gym holds, let's say, 400 people. Okay. My championship game, I had over 1,500.
When you see the videos, it's
when you see it, they're on top of you, and that is what I love, because that's the energy I want. See, that's gonna make it even more exciting than an NBA game, right? Where it's very,
No, that's what the NBA is missing now. They took that fire from it.
They took that fire.
They took it right out. That 3-point line destroyed the game.
I'm telling you, when I show you the video, you're gonna be like, "Oh man, you got it." And I'm looking for investors. Again, I'm raising $3 million right now on it for the runway for 2 years. After that, I'm gonna raise probably like 50 to 75 and blow it out. I'll have a league here. I'll have a league, and I'll spread out the leagues. Mm-hmm. And once I spread the leagues out, it's lights out, because now I got a marketing with all those influencers that have to market my brands that I put into the league. You tell me what I wouldn't be able to break with all that influence. And then I could get into numbers. Again, I'm a numbers guy. Like NBA is 1.4 billion from influencers or people that are on social media for them. Mm-hmm. The next closest is the NFL at 270 million. For 1.4 billion, 270 million. Right now, with my influences, I'm almost 200 million. So I'll be in the game in a major way as soon as I get this finalized.
I heard you said, Puerto Rican and Dominican leagues. Did you hear about Puerto Rican, how Bad Bunny and other rappers started buying teams?
Of course.
Because that league was failing before that.
Yeah, and now it's successful. They're doing very well. One of my players played from over there. That's why I know. Shout out Jose. What up, boy? So he came and played in my league. He told me this is just as good or better. So I need those kind of comparisons, right? I'm picking his brain. What am I missing? What do I need? He said, Chris, this is super professional. This was great. He came and performed in the combine. My league, no agents.
Ooh.
Why I want no agents, right? Think of what it is. It's a pool. Think of we're here. I'm in LA right now. Mm-hmm. Think of how many basketball players went to college, D1, that never got nowhere.
Right.
Where did they go? If they go overseas, everyone say, "Oh, we go overseas." Every overseas team takes 2 players from America. So you're fighting for those spots. Again, it's not easy. If you don't have the agent, you'll never get there. So it's very political. So I removed the political side. If you're a player, hit the coach, hit the GM of that team. Show them your video. Now you eat what you kill. I'm a eat what you kill guy. I never got anything handed to me. I had to go get it. So go get it. Solicit your players, solicit your coaches, your GMs. Show them how good you are. Go show up and work. These guys are out in the field. You could meet them anytime you want. So it's not like you're blocked. Where think of, do you know who the GM of the Knicks is? Right? That's the problem. It's World Wide West and Leon Rose. I know them, but no one would know them if you don't have the agent that has the relationships. Think of music. If you don't have the right lawyer, you're not getting the best deals. You're getting shitted on. I watch this in every industry, right? So I'm not going to do it in mine. I'm like, no, reach out. You're home. You're not doing nothing. You play ball. You're nice. Everyone had to fill out a questionnaire. If you didn't have a background in basketball, no good. You got to have a background. You could have played D1, D2, D3, but something. You had to play in a real competitive league, and then you get picked. I have what I call it the Lance Stephenson rule. If you're not part of my combine, you can't get on the team, because a coach was like, I'm going to get Lance to play for me. But I said, that's not fair. The other coaches have to be able to pick him too. If they're in front of you in the draft, they have to leave him off the draft, but his name has to be there that he's available. So that's my Lance Stephenson rule, because people want to just pick a player up. Let's say you was incredible and you're hearing about this and you want to come play. A coach will be like, oh, I got him. I got Alejandro, right? I got him. No. Can't do that. It has to be on the board so everyone knows you're available. So whatever that order is in the draft, someone might pick you.
Now that the teams are already established, what about next year? Is there another draft?
You got
do they reorder?
Yeah, see, that was
is it like a reordered draft every year?
No,
or how you doing that?
So again, because I'm not the NBA retains all these players under contract. My contract is game to game. Coach's discretion, not mine. I'm the commissioner. Coaches and their GM of each prospective team is their discretion. So if you're acting up, you're fired. I love that, because now you're going to get order and obedience from the player. Right? I designed my collective bargaining agreement exactly like the NBA, which means if I get the eyeballs like the NBA, we'll be making millions and millions and billions of dollars, and the players will fucking enjoy the fruits of that. But I have a structure so they don't get the $50 million and quit. It's just a different way I looked at it, but it's their money. It just might be in escrow for them.
Like, you still got to compete.
Because I don't want you to, you got to compete.
Because when those big contracts come, people become less competitive.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They start floating around the league just collecting $150 million paydays for the next 25 years.
Yeah, or sitting out. Load management. Nah, the game is super competitive because it's one-on-one. I did running clock, 10-minute quarters. The game stops 1 minute, 2 minute respectively, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So you could have a chance to call your timeouts, the clock will stop, and get back in the game. I would have did an elam ending. I don't know if you're familiar with elam endings, where they just, you play to a certain time, and then whatever the score is, they add on X amount more points, and whoever reaches that end score gold is the winner. So, that's that, you call that an elam ending. But the problem with that for me is business. You just
add some shit in.
No, this is and it's a very exciting ending because it's very good for the game. But for me, it came to a time issue because I would have to pay a lot of overtime for the building, and I don't want to spend the money. I don't have it right now. I did it with no sponsors. I did it or just local sponsors. So once I could get one title sponsor, and I'm a profitable business. So all you sponsors, just come and holler at me, and we good. And that's it. One sponsor changed me from a red to the black, just like that. And it's not even crazy because I kept the course at that level. And then once I get that money, like I said, it's expansion time. I want to go into secondary markets. I wouldn't do L.A. I would do something out here that.
Sacramento, San Diego.
Somewhere that's, a little different. You know what I mean? Where they're going to come out and want to be part of that.
Yeah, too many activities in LA. I get it.
Yeah, and it's going to be location-wise good for the players, the core of the players. Like I said, just think of how many players are out here in California that have no job and all they do is play ball. They're at the LA Fitness and shit, busting ass.
Fighting everybody.
Busting ass.
Well, you mentioned Lance Stephenson.
Yes.
You made a movie with him recently.
Yes, I did, man. Shit. Man, Ballin, man. Again, he's my lead. I had to teach him how to act. No, it's a real process. Like, think about it. He's never acted like that, and I had to teach him, and I did it. And it's in his wheelhouse because he's playing a basketball player, so it makes sense. And he has notoriety. That's why I use him. When you're doing independent film, my question would be, do I get, and I hate using his name, but shout out Morris Chestnut, you know what I'm saying? Is he more valuable from a curiosity standpoint where people's going to go to watch the film, or would Lance have been? Lance has over 2 million followers. I think he's going to get more of an engagement just because he's 2 million. I don't know what Morris Chestnut has now. He's a great actor, don't get me wrong, but can he garner the people to come to watch him when I put a movie out that's you know what I mean? That's the choices I had to make from a business decision, and that's why I went these routes. I put Safari in at 5 million. Rebecca, 2 million. It's a numbers game. When they start tweeting and posting, guess what I get? I get views. My CPM goes up. But 5 weeks at number one is proof. And I feel it's pockets. It's like I just hit, let's say, New York, maybe Philly, Atlanta, Miami. I got the whole rest of the country to keep marketing to. And it'll make the movie move again and have a new set of energy on it.
And you produce his music too.
Yes. We made an incredible soundtrack. Shout out my niece Ricky. It was really him and Ricky, and they made every song. But he's singing. He's the Black Drake for sure. He's the Black Drake. He's the Black Drake for sure. He's nice though. Like, I was originally thinking of just one song and put it in the movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make a song, put it in the movie. When I put him in the studio, he'd never been in a big studio. I brought him to Circle House. I brought a real producer, my boy Neri, who produced the whole album with me. And we went out, and again, the music just flowed from him. And every time he made a record, I challenge, go listen to the record, pull it up. I promise you, we got hot joints. I know I don't make whack shit. That's simple and plain. I know what's quality, not quality. Like, just listen to it. It may not be a blockbuster, or it may be, because I feel we got some hits on that album. So it was just fun making it, and the process of watching him. Like, he's like, I only made records like in a house, to get to work with a producer that makes the beat on the spot right in front of him. He was blown away, and he was coming up with the hooks and everything. And I gotta credit him for moving the project, because if he didn't do it, I would have stopped. If he didn't do it, so I give him a lot of credit. You know what I'm saying?
Is the movie coming out?
It's out.
Is out?
It's out on Tubi.
Tubi?
Yeah,
Okay.
We'll be on Amazon. We're getting a date right now it should be the last Sunday or last Monday in August. It'll be on Amazon.
I'm going to say one thing. I just started recently watching Tubi. And Tubi's better than anything. I could cancel everything else. This guy had all the movies that I loved from when I was a child.
Josh, say that.
Yo, Tubi, I swear to God, I only am watching first thing I go to now is Tubi.
Yeah, listen, it's not the biggest, but it's the biggest from a profit standpoint. It's bigger than Netflix profit-wise. But the reality, here's where I get mad. See, this is our culture. And I'm going to say why I get mad with Tubi, because they took all of these ultra low budget films from Black, and the reason they would be watched is not because they was quality. It's because maybe you got shot and you're on the floor and you're like, yo, is the scene over? And then it go viral. You understand what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden it became a cult thing and it got a bad name. But what it has like 110 million in audience for Black film. Where else can I go that's going to get me that type of audience? If I go to Netflix, that's not the audience that's over there. So I would get less engagement of my film. And I don't have the budget to market and promote it to cross over, because that's, again, it's all music. It's all the same. It all relates. It's all the same. Business is business. When you crossed over in music, you needed a lot bigger budget to get to that audience. Same thing. If I got to cross over, I need a lot more money to market this film. And again, when I look at other filmmakers that have their film, no one's doing more marketing than me on this product at Tubi.
Check it out tonight.
I thought Tubi was black owned for the longest time.
Fox owns it. They bought it. Fox. Fox seen how much money it was making and bought it. And as soon as they did that, when you go to it now, it's sad, man. When you went to it before Fox owned it, it was nothing but the black movies up there. Now you look at it, it looks like Netflix. Tell me I'm lying. Yeah, it looks like Netflix. It's all the regular movies you would think on there. The only difference is you got to watch a commercial, but it's free.
And they're all like 25-year-old movies,
right?
Like, and then newer shit that people are making. Like,
yes.
Big John got his shit on there, but once I clicked on it, I see he got like 3 shows on there or something, and they always pop up on the front. So at least it's got.
And I believe they're starting to do podcasts on it now. Yeah,
that's
it's a way to make money. It's a CPM driven. That's it. It's CPM driven.
Yeah, man, I like that shit. Going back to the crate days, though, I didn't get to ask a question for you about like seeing the transition of people starting to rap over those beats and bringing rap into it.
Bringing
you know
it back.
What I mean? Like, who was the first dude you was at a party? They were doing DJing, and then he just started rapping.
Man.
And you was like, oh, my God, this is...
You know, for me, I grew up with AM radio. We didn't have a car with FM radio. We didn't have no money. And so I grew up with listening to all, like, country, rock and roll songs. And then when you got to the FM stations, finally, my real... Let's say love. I know what's that movie? I think it was called Love. When she said, "When you found out you loved hip hop," it's the Treacherous 3. That was the group. When I heard them, and I was like, "What is this?" Like, it just was so different than everything else to me. It was like, what? You know, I loved all them old artists. You know, and then Kumo D was one of my favorites. You know, again, like Fantastic Four. Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and all of that shit. I did it all. But
and you were around
I'm telling
that.
you, I'm bad with titles. If the song came on, I would know every word. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, like, that's something my brother, I like envied him because he could literally just spit out the song record and just go. I can't. I need to hear it and then I could do it. So I don't forget it. I have it. I can't just pull it up from zero. Yeah. But yeah, Treacherous 3 for sure was that group.
And then I guess if he was out DJ battling Irv, you know what I mean, doing all that kind of stuff, when did you see him want to really just start going, I guess, just producing artists or
the change?
Yeah,
the change is he goes to Bayside High School, finds Mike Geronimo at a talent search, and he asks Mike, "You want to make a record?" Now, this nigga never been in the studio or nothing. This is ambition at its finest, like, way. He was like, Mike was like, "I don't care, let's try it." Like, he just met him, doesn't know him. Went up to him, said his rap was dope, and he said, "Let's make a record." And the first record they made was Shit's Real, and that shit went crazy. Yeah.
That's dope.
From that point, he's like, maybe I should start making records.
After that, once he did that, it was no turning back. It was only records. He wasn't. I had Irv in a club called Nels, a big club in New York City, Nels, at 16, DJing. Like, Irv was in the clubs DJing, underage. And we did a ton of, countless house parties. We did countless. I'm going to shout out Brian because I just was talking to him. He's a lawyer. He went to high school with me. And we used to go to his college and do his show and helped him pledge Q because, you know, New York was there in Maryland with him and all of that shit. And so we did all the parties in all the colleges, man. Like, we used to, I'll go even further. Like, when we was going in the neighborhood, I would have, you know, the radio flyer, the little radio flyer cart.
Yep.
I used to put the coffin on that with all the crates and drag it to every party. No car, just walking to the party and setting them up.
What's your perspective on streaming and radio nowadays? Do you think streaming is good for artists, bad for artists? Are they finally getting the money they supposed to get, or are they still being cheated?
Not getting the money they're supposed to get. Streaming has to get revamped, in my opinion. Something has to change. It's got to be, because to get paid fractions of a penny, it just doesn't add up. Someone has to listen to your song so many times to make $1, just $1. Like $1, my nigga, like $1. you might as well just get back to selling CDs on the corner and try and sell it yourself. You'll make more money. Like, I have a distribution company called Adventure Music. I've been doing it for over 10 years. I was way in front of all these guys that started their distribution companies. I understand this shit very well, and it's got to be something change. It has to be a change. And more than likely, the guys in this room is going to be the ones to do it, because we're the ones that care enough. Most people don't care. When they get in their position, they rape and pillage. They're from that cloth. I never did that. I never did. That's why you never heard any artist complaining. You never heard anyone with Murder Inc. You never heard those things. And we made tons of money because I did the right deals with them. Even if they did complain, they found out that I couldn't have did a better deal for them. Right? They would go to the lawyer and find out that I gave him the max, which was 50-50. Irv is not taking less than you when he's a producer. He's the one that got the artist. There's no way in hell you could get a better deal than that.
Wow.
There's no way you know Jay-Z. There's no way you know DMX. So how could you get a record to them? So where do you add that value? And when they understood that, say the lawyers will get with you and they'll tell them, like, I could get you more money. Oh, they're not doing this. They're not doing that. And when the lawyers found it, they got to eat crow and shut the fuck up. Mind your business. I'm different.
So, Chris, you've been doing this shit forever, man.
Yeah.
Who's your top 5 rappers of all time?
Top 5.
We gotta
Dead or
hear
alive?
it. We gotta hear it.
Dead or alive?
Yeah. Dead or alive, of course.
Just making sure, man. Got to make sure we include. Again, my number one is Jay-Z. It's like I don't dispute he's the number one rapper in our.
I'm so glad you telling my counterparts this.
I'm just saying, for me personally, like,
I knew this moment. I knew this moment was gonna come for AD.
But you know,
the glory of his Jay-Z love.
But you know, you gotta look. Where do you? Okay, before I answer that, where do you put a guy like Drake? Where do you put these newer rappers inside?
I think
of this category?
Dre is coming up real fast.
Drake
is definitely coming up real fast. I think he's in the top 5.
Okay.
I think because he's been doing it for 15
this
years?
Is the challenge of this question is so hard.
Right.
That's why I only want to answer the one, is Jay. Because to me, that's fair. All these other ones, like, look, where do you put Tupac? Let me ask you that. Like, where do you put Pac? See, me and my brother, we would do different categories. Like, we would say, like, we have a beef with, like, the award shows. Let's say. How do you put Eminem, hello, my name is,
big
versus
record.
Huge record, but if you did it, it would never work.
Of course not.
Okay, that's just being completely honest. Again, you would have been outcasted, but because he's a white rapper and it was accepted and it's cool, and I'm not knocking him, please. Don't hit me in the gram talking any shit. He's one of the greatest rappers that existed in hip hop. The reality is, it still wasn't fair. And that's why I can't that's what makes me say, how do I put that in there when he gets things that we cannot get? See, when you want to talk fair, we have to be on the same playing field. We're not.
I don't think does anyone have Eminem on their top 5?
I think he might crack my top 5.
He's not my top 5.
I mean, selling wise, he's like 1, but
so when Jay said something,
rapping wise, he's like,
I'm gonna tell you why I put Jay. Jay said something in the record. He said, "Oh man, how did he say it?" It's like in pop culture, he's like, with all the things he's accomplished and the influence he had over pop culture, how can I not be? How can he not be? Who had more influence over pop culture, this hip hop culture, than Hov? Like, think about it. And in what he's done in business, not saying the billionaire, like, I'll give you a quick story. Where Jay-Z, we're sitting there, he comes in our office, he says, yo, David Stern wants to meet me. True story. David Stern wants to meet me. We're like, for what? What the fuck he want? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is how ignorant we are back then. And we're like, what does he want? And he's like, I don't know. So he goes to meet David Stern. Why does David Stern want to meet Hov? When we did the Hard Knock Life tour, every jersey, throwback jersey from every city we was in, a throwback jersey of the NBA team. That's what he wore. You go look at the tape, that's what he wore. His next album was what? Grow up, nigga. Put the button up. Be a grown man. The button up. No more throwbacks. Sales went down over 4,000%. David Stern is saying why. He has no clue why. Someone tells him it's Jay. Now, these stories like this is countless with Jay-Z. Reebok, what's the Champagne, all of these. There's no one like him. The 4.0 versus the 4.6 Range Rover. Go look at the numbers. He's like, what is that? He said, they don't even come with leather? Talking about the 4.0. No one wanted the 4.0s no more. That's the power of Jay, and that's why you have to give him, in my opinion, the number one spot. And that's why I say I don't know where you put everyone else. That's how far it is.
So is this based off influence or songs and rapping ability?
Rapping ability, I don't know anyone better than Jay. Rapping ability, and he has countless songs, hits, countless hits. He's turning down. Come on, Jay, give us a break, man. I need you in Brazil one time, boy. Come on now.
A wise man once told me that he usually needs another person to get a hit.
Listen to me. It's all part of the equation. I'm not knocking that. It doesn't matter. Guess what that is? Look, he's sitting right here. He's sitting right here. But guess what that is? Jay-Z's pop culture influence to make that part of the other side say, I like it. You know what? I'm going to do it for you. Because it's also beneficial for that person too. Yeah. It's not one-sided. When he has a hit record that this star made and it works. It only goes the other way when it doesn't work. Jay got a record that works. Like, I don't know. But again, so me and her, what I was getting to was categories with the, like the Grammys. You can't put rappers that don't rap. Where do you put Tyler, Creator? It's a different genre of rap.
For sure.
So why would you put that in the same and lump it up? Because they don't give a fuck about our culture. They don't care. They prove it every time. They did it for rock and roll. Contemporary. This type of rock and roll. That type of rock and roll. They did it. We need that for hip hop to make it fair and right. But they don't want to honor or give those awards out to niggas on them stages.
Speaking of awards, didn't they just suspend the BET Awards and another
that's
one?
Financial.
What's up with that?
That's what I heard is financial. They're broke. That's what happens when you're black.
Superstars. There aren't enough stars to go around.
Oh, that's a fact. But BET, that's what happens when you sell BET, Black Entertainment Television, to Viacom.
Yeah.
That's what happens. See, it's business. It's not nothing about the culture. So it shouldn't be called Black Entertainment Television. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, but you know what that is? Sometimes I just think that us as black people, sometimes we just sell it.
Yeah.
Instead of being selective to who we sell it to.
Yeah, our black culture is terrible. Yeah. That's the facts.
Yeah, that part right there is
That's
crazy.
the facts. It's an embarrassment because we sell out for $1 every time. I tell everyone, I don't dance for dollars. I'm not a stripper, bitch. You're going to pay me right, or it's not. You're going to pay me the right way, or I don't want it. Or I don't want it. I could do bad by myself, but I don't know who else thinks like that. They take that check. And once you take that check, I don't want to say a slave to it, but you kind of have to do what they do want you to do. I never lived that way. And again, it's probably part of my struggle. Maybe that's why I don't have billions of dollars, right? That's how I look at it. But it's okay. I'm all right. My family's good.
Starting $1 billion basketball league.
Oh, that's going. It's going. That's going. I got Ken Hirschman with me. Shout out Ken, former CEO of HBO Sports. He's my CEO.
I don't think we tapped into when you guys were making hits with J-Lo. No, I heard a story about how somebody challenged somebody to put J-Lo on some street albums or something during a beef.
What? I don't know. I don't know about this challenge. Shout out J-Lo, man. Again, one of the nicest people in the music that I've ever came across to deal with. As being a big star as she was very humbled. Irv ruined that.
That song she did with Ja Rule was crazy though.
I'm Real, right?
Huge.
That was a huge record. I love that record.
But when I say Irv ruined it is because they made amends, but it changed the dynamic of the relationship. J-Lo was throwing up M's everywhere. Go back and look. She was throwing up the Murder Inc. everywhere she was at. Why? Because we was working with her and she was loving Irv in the way he was making records for her. He simplified record making for her. She could sing, but she doesn't have a big voice. Everyone knows that. So as a producer, you gotta adjust. You gotta pivot. What are you gonna give her a Whitney Houston type record and she can't blow like that? You crazy?
Right.
You setting her up to lose. Yeah. Irv understood that, and Irv got high. J-Lo's like, she's getting interviewed. You can Google it, look it up. It's crazy. Go look at what my brother said about this girl, man. It's crazy. But it was I believe it's Elle Magazine, right? It's Elle Magazine, and she said, I'm getting interviewed. They want to talk about my new album. I want them to talk to you. Got you, no problem. She's just a fat ass and a pretty face. They can't make this shit up. She was like, it was like she felt completely blindsided, rightfully so. But he was high out of his mind and said crazy shit. They asked, ain't it funny? Is that about Puffy? Jennifer said no. The bitch is lying. He said, I went to see Puffy right after I made it and told him, look what your bitch is doing. And he did. We was at the Four Seasons. Yeah.
How was your relationship with Puffy? Like,
how was my relationship?
Like,
you asked me, was I at any of his parties?
Yeah.
In so many words.
Again, you watched the trial?
I think he's an innocent man.
Okay, I'm saying, did you though? Did you watch the trial?
I saw the highlights.
Okay.
I didn't sit there and watch the whole thing.
Again, to answer, I've been to his, not his private parties. Puffy threw the best parties.
Sure.
So if anyone acts like he didn't, they're fucking out of their mind. And what was the best party? It was a party. See, this is what we don't have today. Is there any clubs out here today that's like a party vibe where people are dancing and talking? And
dancing?
There's no clubs at all.
Everything is just sit up and watch.
Like that.
No, well, New York, that's the era we came from.
Mm-hmm.
The era we came from was Cheetah Club and shit like that. You go to the bar, you don't have to get a table. You sit at the bar, you see the bench, you go whoop-de-whoop, go dance. It was real interaction like that. I don't think it exists anymore. So Puffy threw the best parties that was like that ever, period. Now, these other parties, I was never there because they probably know not to talk to me like that. if they existed, because even when I say that, I assumed I was going to hear that in the trial. Did you hear anything like that?
Yeah, no, it was just.
I heard Cassie calling this big dick nigga to come fucking knock her down. That's what I heard. And she loved it. And yeah, I heard Puffy's there or whatever, but I heard her saying she's paying him.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. If you go, I did interviews about this early and was saying free Puffy, man. And the reason I did it is because this is a billionaire. He's a black billionaire, let's say. Fucking hundreds of millions of dollars if he's not, right? And look how they're treating him.
Crazy.
He was supposed to be home. He's in jail now for how long? Almost a year, almost. Like, it's 8 months, 9 months?
Again, like two weeks ago. Or
But do you
like
understand?
That.
Like, so when I
for
see that,
prostitution charges,
so
crazy.
When I see that,
and using the excuse of what he was acquitted on.
Yes. And when you say prostitution, it's not female, it's male. It's a he bitch.
No,
you ever see Deuce Bigelow? It's a he bitch. It's a male prostitute. And I said, was he fucking like some fat bitches that I don't know? I'm like, he's fucking a beautiful girl. Cassie's a beautiful girl.
Right.
You think he had a bad time, or was like he should have paid some of the money back to the bitch?
Right.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with this world? Like, I don't get it. In the history of criminal like cases, this is the first.
For sure.
It's the first. And then for him to be held without bail, that he's a flight risk, he's putting up $50 million, plane, passports, is something wrong.
I think if he was a flight risk, he would have been out of here for that 2 months that he was like sitting in those parties.
When he knew it was coming.
Like fucking,
This is all I'm saying. When you talk about it, I thought I was going to hear something with child pornography or something, or some women or something. Nothing.
Yeah, I know.
All I heard was Cassie say, "I'm with the freak off." Yeah. Oh, I like him. She's saying it like she fucks with him. The nigga that's twisting her up. Like, come on, man. What do you want? I don't know. What the fuck? They wanted to hear some freaky shit. That's what they feels like. It's like, I don't get it. But I feel bad because what chances do you have? if that's how they treated him. That's why I'm so mad. Like, man, we don't got a fucking chance in hell. If they want to fuck us, they gonna fuck us. This nigga got all the resources, all the money, and didn't do anything except for fucking pay for a male prostitute to fuck his bitch that wanted it. She wanted it. It would be different if he said, no, I'm tying you up and this nigga's gonna get medieval with your ass. No, that wasn't the case. So where are we? I don't get it. My first thing was free him because he should not be doing this bid right now.
Right.
And yes, he's convicted of those crimes. Those should be domestic violence crimes. It's not in the federal court. And he should have been fighting it from home with his family.
When it first came out, we talked about how it was that liquor company. As soon as he started fucking, he started fucking with the liquor company.
Listen to me, there's no doubt they're probably behind all of this shit. But it's obviously, to me, like, there's a power that be that is bigger than, we talked about it, than hip hop, that is behind this. Diageo's bigger than hip hop. Just think, hip hop is a few $billion. It's not nothing. Think about like Universal. Nigga, go buy it for a few billion. You could go own it. It's not crazy what I'm saying compared to these liquor companies like a Diageo. So it's over. That's the reason I thought they held them, because maybe there's something we don't know that they're not saying. But man, the whole shit is over. He didn't fucking. It's sad. I went through a federal trial, so I understand the pressure you're talking about. It's like,
you guys beat them.
Yeah.
Just talk about your experience through that if you want.
My experience with that is, again, I don't wish that on my worst enemy.
How was that getting? How did it happen?
I'm a different individual. Since I was 15, I had my intestines ruptured at 15. So since 15, I was in a coma for 10 days when I came out of that shit, and they said they brought me back twice. So when I wake up, they're telling me, am I Jewish? Like, what are you talking about? Like, because they said I had Crohn's disease. I said, Crohn's disease wouldn't make my intestines ruptured. But, you know, think of 40 plus years ago, the technology is different. Science is different. Medicine is different. So these doctors didn't know. Proof of that is the way they connected my intestines back. You know, your intestines is like an S. And one part of it, they made like an L. My real last name's Lorenzo, so was he trying to spell my name? 30 years later, that shit ruptured again. Had to get major surgery again at 45. But all that time, I studied myself. I knew why I got sick. It's stress. And for everyone out there, stress will kill you. It's stress. And my stress was because I was in the street. But my real stress was my mother. I didn't want to tell her I wasn't going to school and I'm doing all this crazy shit in the street. That's why I got sick. So I had to change. So I'm a very straight shooter. That's why I say, if you ask me stuff, I'm going to answer, because I don't want the stress. And I deal with people. If we have a problem, I'm going to deal with you because I don't want the stress. Once I fight, it's over. Like, the stress is gone. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for me. It's easy to deal with and handle. So I've been doing that since 15, and I haven't been lying to anybody in the streets at all about anything. Like, fuck out of here. There's no need to now. So, and I just live that way. And I'm a very honest and straight shooter, good or bad. So when you ask me questions, I give you real answers. So when you talk about the feds, I went out every day. My brother was like, what are you doing? He stayed in. He could do it. I couldn't stay in. I would still go out, and I would be, everyone in New York at that time, again, if I had a camera just filming it, everyone looked at me like a Martian, because I'm in the front page of every newspaper, New York Times, the Daily News, the Post, and they portrayed us as monsters, the worst of the worst. Like, I got all the clippings. I could prove everything I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. And the feds was following me everywhere I went. The hip-hop police was following me everywhere I went. And I still went out because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't get high, I don't do drugs, I don't do none of that shit. Never did, never will. End of the day, I would go out. That was my release to deal with the stress of going to trial. I ate bread and water the whole trial.
Damn.
Yeah.
You had to watch out for.
I did it as like a mock in jail. If
How
you
long was the
understand, because you know
trial?
they say you go to jail, it's bread and water, and that's it. It was a month and a half, almost 2 months, a little less than 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, a little less than 2 months.
You have to watch out for Supreme and his crew too.
When you say watch out, well, you thought he was coming at me?
No, I mean, like they're taking you to trial, and then some people is like, you know,
Preem?
why take the chance?
Well, the trial is really about Preem. It was really because we was a friend of Kenneth Supreme McGriff, who I didn't know in the 80s when he was the kingpin. He was a kingpin. No question about it. Supreme Team is real. We're making a movie on it. Supreme Team. Shout out Prince, who's home. Unreal. Thank God. Preem is coming home too. He's gonna get home. He's gonna get a date. But Supreme, they labeled him. They is the government, United States of America, the feds, whatever you want to call them. They labeled him as like one of the most dangerous men in the game, and all of his cohorts either was dead or in jail. They was like, "You're not going to see a free day, brother. We're locking you up." So whether they had a real case or not, it didn't matter. They put it together. You know what I'm saying? And that's really, he's locked up for things he didn't do, and that's crazy. That's why he's going to end up getting home. But he's really locked up for things he didn't do. And again, he didn't have money like he did in the 80s, and he didn't have the same team. He wasn't hustling. He made a movie. He made a movie called Crime Partners. Do you guys know this movie? He made a movie called Crime Partners. This is when movies went straight to DVD. Straight to DVD. He sold and made over $4.5 million first week with Crime Partners. Now, why did he do that? How did that happen? Everyone fucks with Preem, not just Murder Inc. See, this is where the feds had it fucked up, and this is why it was crazy. Jay-Z gave him a song. Snoop Dogg gave him a song. Ice-T gave him a song. Ja Rule gave him a song. Ashanti gave him a song. So that's love. So why would he not be able to get a deal for a soundtrack back then with all those names and songs? He went and got $1 million deal. As soon as the movie came out and he got $1 million sent to his, he got the first half, $500,000 sent to his account. Everything happened with the feds. Coincidence? I don't think so. You understand? This is calculated shit. They didn't want him free, and then they saying we're the ones giving him this business, so we're coming. We all had contracts. Everything done legally. Any money I gave him was contractually written up for the equity of the movie. The movie does $4.5 million, and then the feds come right in and confiscate the movie and say, if you come after the movie, we're gonna get you. So who's gonna fight the gorilla? No one. We said, fuck it. But they didn't want him legitimate. That makes him a legitimate millionaire in the United States, and they say, no fucking way. See, it's really fucked up the way they move, but it's real. It's real. If you're not from here and you don't understand it, watch some movies, you'll see. Watch look what they did to Martin Luther King. Like, just look at how they treated people early on in the air. Now, he had a business of drug dealing. I'm not knocking it. I didn't know him. I knew of him. I'm from Hollis. He's from Southside. You know what I did my whole adolescent years? I fought niggas from Southside. That's what I did. So anyone Southside, I told Preem before, we was trying to get your ass before, nigga. Like, but you always had more dudes than we did. He outgunned us. So I was like, let's get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But that's a fact. I told him that when we became cool. That's Hollis and Southside. We're like the Hatfields and the McCoys, right? That's mortal enemies, right? Yeah. That's it. It is what it is. But that's what it was for me growing up. So when people ask me, all my friends, when we seen they got cool with Preem, how are you friends with him? He's a good dude. Our relationship was built just regular. First day he met my brother, he asked him, could you make a movie? He's not talking about nothing else. He didn't have money to give us because they made it like he funded Murder Inc. No, I funded Murder Inc. Then Universal funded Murder Inc. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. It's really, and they know everything. They know, the government knows everything. They know. They don't care. They're going to lie and do whatever they got to do to win. So for you to beat the government, you're in the 2%. I'm in the 2%. You know what I'm saying?
Before we get out of here, can you give us your best Irv Gotti story? Or your brother?
There's countless, but I'm going to use the producer story I love the most. This is my favorite producer story. I got a few, but this one is...
You can share as many as you like.
I'm going to give you two, because one is going to be Ashanti, one is going to be Ja Rule.
Got you.
I'm going to do Ashanti first. He gets Ashanti. We have Baby, Baby, but it's not. It's Mary, 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 right. It's Scarface.
Right.
And Irv's like, no, we're going to flip this. And he's telling Ashanti, now what people don't know about Ashanti, she sings pitch perfect. She could sing like that. But we didn't make records like that for her, right? So she never had to utilize it, but that's what she's from. So when Irv is telling her, I want you to sing it like this. He said, you've never been high before. He said, you have to be high, but on a guy. That's what Baby Baby is about. She's singing to a dude that she loves. And Mary Mary is about being, you love the weed, the Mary Jane. So he's like, that's what you have to sing. And I wish I had the video, like I wish we recorded, because he's literally goes in the booth and sings like how he wants her to sing it. You got to do it like this. And then when she gets in the booth, she's like, I sound stupid. He's like, shut up, just do it. And it took everything for her to do it. And then the magic is made. I love that because that's production, but it's really the trust of a producer. See, you could be a producer, but if the artist doesn't trust you, he's going to be like, it's good.
Yeah.
Like, I hear you, but I like this. Mm-hmm. No one did that with Irv. No one. They allowed him to produce. And that to me is the chemistry that's everything. Like, they allowed him to say, I know you just wrote that and I know you love it, but it's not what I want for this. It's something you could do better. And it worked every time he did it, man. The nigga, he's different, man. It worked. And they listen. So it's a combination. I don't never give credit without saying, if she doesn't listen, it means nothing. Right? The record never comes out the right way. But the fact that I seen him in the studio and he's going crazy, like, you gotta fucking be high, you man. He said, maybe we gotta get you high. He's trying to get her in the right mindset. And she's like, no, and she's fighting with him the whole way. But she listened, she did it. You know, and that to me is the magic. And then the Ja Rule story is, we give away our song. We don't have a first single.
Right.
And I'm the guy that controls the production company. I meet a guy named Fingers. I hear the beat, the holla holla beat. I hear it. I go crazy. Again, you was asking me, can you just hear a beat or not? I hear that beat, and I'm like, this is a hit beat. Now we need the words to match it. I call Irv. I got the beat. They're in Electric Lady, which is Jimi Kendrick's studio in Manhattan, and I got the beat for the first single. He said, bring it. Come on, we're recording right now. I get over there, give him the beat. He goes crazy. Yo, Ja's like, yo, this is fire. He tells him, don't write the verses, because usually they would write the verses and then add a hook in afterward. This song, you got to write the hook first. Me and him in the other room, we playing casino. You know, we in there gambling, playing casino. Ja comes out. I got it. He says the hook. Irv looks at him and says, that's not it. To Ja's credit, he goes right back in the studio. Starts writing again. Comes back out. I got it. Yo, let me hear it. Spit. Irv would always just say, spit, spit, spit. He says it. That's not it. It's true story. Third time, Ja comes out. Yo, I'ma double it up. I'ma holla holla with the beat. Yo. Irv goes crazy. Like, I got goosebumps telling you the story. I'm telling you, this shit is crazy. Irv goes fucking nuts. I go crazy. Like, yo, he says, go write it. Go write it. He says, I got it. He wrote that hook in like 2 minutes, and the verses took maybe 5 more, if that. And remember, this is the days of 16 bars, 3 verses. But that's how, it's like the song was made already after he got that hook. And holla, holla, if you dollar, dollar,
right.
It's murder. That's all he came out. He didn't have all of the pieces. He just gave a little bit, and everyone went crazy. And again, but to his credit, to Ja's credit, imagine he says after the second one, nah, that's it, Irv. I'm telling you. Let me finish it up. We never get the single.
Right.
Never goes on. We never get to DeMizza.
Speaking of DeMizza, when you first meet DeMizza, how did that go down? How'd you get?
Again, this is all through Irv. Irv is in DeMizza, and then I never wanted to be seen. I just wanted to make the money and take care of my brother and take care of the business. That's it. But you know, when we go out and meet someone like DeMizza, it's DeMizza. This is a powerful person. We need to know who it is, and we never look back from there. We just introduce, and then we go out. And then he's seen how I was. I fall back. You know, I fall back. I never let them go. And Murder Inc. was devised of really multiple crews. Ja had his own group, Irv had his own group, and I had my own group of guys, you know what I'm saying, that we was going out with. So it was, now we would all go out together, but we would never be all together unless we was moving somewhere. It was like, I have a table over here, there we have theirs, you know what I mean? So again, DeMizza seen how I moved, and we just kind of clicked and hit it off from there.
How you guys go from Lorenzo to Gotti?
We didn't. Lorenzo's my daddy's name. My last name's Lorenzo. Gotti's a nickname. Don't get it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's real. Like, Gotti is a nickname. Jay-Z gave Irv the name Gotti. Irv's nickname was Magoo. You know the cartoon character. You couldn't see. Irv couldn't. You know, he's squinting. So his nickname was Magoo. And Jay. This is when Jay was making Reasonable Doubt. He's like, I don't like that name, yo.
There you go.
He said, I don't like that name, Magoo. I don't like it. And I was like, what's wrong? He said, I don't like it. I mean, I'm going to call you something else. And he called him Gotti. And I was like, why you calling me Gotti? He said, because you're connected. You know, John Gotti.
Yeah.
He's like, you're connected. And I was like, okay. Irv didn't give a fuck. But once Jay started calling Irv Gotti, everyone called Irv Gotti. So guess what they did to me? Oh, you Irv's brother. That's Chris Gotti. My nickname was Joe Hard. If you know anyone that knows me, they would call me Joe Hard. Joe Hard, Joe Hard, Joe Hard, Joe Hard. And so if you don't know Joe Hard, you didn't know me back then. Right?
Dope
but
story.
My name Gotti became because it's Irv Gotti, and that's my brother, so I have to be Chris Gotti. I'll give you a quick one. Polly Anthony. Remember Polly? Irv says, yo, we got a check. Go pick it up. She got it. She know. I said, yo, I'm busy. I'm busy. Is it going to be ready? Yes. They know you coming. They know you coming. I said, okay, cool. I rush over there, go to the front desk. Yeah, I'm here to see Polly. What's your name? Yeah, Chris Lorenzo. Have a seat. The check, mind you, has Lorenzo on it. You're not writing a check to Irv Gotti. You're writing it to Irving Lorenzo. You know what I'm saying? So I say the real name. They sit me down, and I'm sitting there waiting. Nothing, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I call Irv. What the fuck's going on? You said they ready. What the fuck? They sitting here. No one's coming out. Irv said, what? You still there? I said, yes. He calls her. She comes running out with the check. Oh, my God, I'm looking for Gotti. I said, didn't you read the name on the check? Like, isn't that make some sense? He said, I wasn't thinking. I'm so sorry. I said, all right, thanks. And I could check it out. That's how bad it was. In my trial, the prosecutor, Christopher Gotti, because they're trying to make me like I'm a young guy. No,
that's intentional.
My paperwork says Christopher Lorenzo versus the United States of America. Call me by my fucking name.
That's crazy.
That's real.
Yeah.
And guess what? My lawyer made them and instructed the judge, and then the judge told her, do not call him Gotti. That is not his name. And then she slip it in here and there. You know what I'm saying? Gotti, I mean Lorenzo. That shit is crazy, yo.
That shit dirty.
Shit is crazy.
Shit, man. While we wrap it up, where do you want the people to go find you? New projects besides the basketball league we talked about? Shout them out. Let them know.
And the movie.
And the movie. Please go watch the movie Ballin on Tubi. You could find me on Instagram and all my social media platforms at Chris Gotti 187. It's still murder. And man, we got the basketball league, CPL, Adventure Music. But go see this movie and everything out. More coming. Night Shift on the way in September. We'll have another movie out called Night Shift. It's a horror film in a strip club.
I love it.
Yeah. Them strippers are gonna get knocked off.
I'm here for it. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Won't waste them one.
All right, y'all. That's another episode of TFU. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, man. That was
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
Stop everything right now. Stop what you're doing. Pause. All right, it's K Fox, aka the voice of the city. It's a K Fox show. Now, according to my reports, last night there was a shooting at the residence of NBA superstar Jalen King. Isn't that your boy?
That's my man, yo.
Now, sources are telling me that 2 men were shot and 1 was fatal.
As high profile as the Kings are, you'd think they'd have security all around this place.
I'm thinking it's possible somebody turned these cameras off before setting the scene hit it.
The question is who?
That's what we gotta figure out.